I'm approaching the small town of Kamwangi, and actually this is not a small town per se. It is the headquarters for Gatundu North constituency. The town is quite legendary and historic. Rumors said it for long that it is the least developed constituency headquarters in Kiambu County. In fact, I can recall in the last general elections campaigns, the current member of parliament in the area, who is one Njoroge Kururia, he runs a very serious campaign promising that he was going to bring all the necessary commercial and social services in town. In short, the town had no banks, no petrol station, no land registry, no court. That is, despite being the constituency's headquarters, it lacked all the social and commercial amenities that should be in such a town. So apart from going around the town as usual and seeing how the people live and how businesses are faring, we will also be confirming whether these promises were fulfilled. Does the town have enough financial institutions? Do we have enough petrol stations? Any serious government offices like a law court or a land registry? Yes, we are going to do all that. I will also be giving you the numbers as usual and also the land prices. So make sure you stay tuned until the end and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns and cities across the continent of Africa. Back to the video, and I've just spotted the first petrol station in town. And this one is Total Energy. It is a big one. I don't know whether it is new or it used to be here, but definitely it is a good sign. I will also be going to the interior of the town to see how things are going there. And one thing I can say is that this is a very busy town. It is also a beautiful one too. I've just spotted another petrol station, and it is just a few steps from the last one. And so it seems like this is not a small town as they say. So the small headquarters has a total population of 8,825 people, all of them squeezed in 2,619 households. Of course, you can call them families, meaning that each family in this town has an average of 3.3 people. In terms of the population density, the town has an average of 1,046 people living in a square kilometer. It is also good to know that this is an agricultural area. So pineapples, teas, bananas, and other indigenous food like arrowroot, sweet potatoes, yams are quite plenty here. In fact, as I was getting to the town, I noticed a dedicated raw banana market. And funny enough, it was just on the roadside. I have also noted that most vehicles here are proboxes and pickups. I don't know whether you have noted the same, but trust me, that tells a story. You know, most of these vehicles are associated with farmers and shrewd business people. We have just had an agreement with this lady that since I'm new to the town, she's going to show us around the market. And so the only thing that I have to do is just following her. Anyways, was just kidding. I'm all alone. And I'm definitely loving the town. I think that's the reason why they call me Mr. Lone Traveler. This must be the clothes market, and it is quite busy. And actually the town has already exceeded my expectation. To be sincere, I never expected it to be this busy and big too. I can see even story buildings are quite plenty here. And of course they are hosting some major businesses. And you can clearly see that the town has a lot of potential. I want to quickly give you the numbers for gender distribution. And as usual, the females are the majority. I know you never expected otherwise. So they are at 4,490, which is 50.9% of the aggregate population. While their male counterparts come second at only 49.1%, which is actually 4,334 people. I have also noted that the gap between the gender is not that big. There's no cause of alarm. there are only about 150 more women than men, which is actually a manageable number. It is also good to know that this is Gatundu North constituency, which is the northernmost sub-county in Kiambu County. And so it neighbors Murang'a County, and that means the boundary is not far from here. In fact, once upon a time, Gatundu was just one constituency when Jomo Kenyatta was the founding president of the Republic of Kenya, was the area's member of parliament. But it is split into two, which is Gatundu South and Gatundu North. I'm also noting that you have a lot of big and humongous, beautiful church structures in the area. And of course, it is not a unique culture to the town. It is a trend that I've noted in most parts of central Kenya. It seems like most communities have invested heavily in churches. And I don't know how you take the issue, since most issues regarding religions are quite controversial. Most people tend to be emotional when addressing issues of church and other religion matters. But for me, I see this development as a sign of community. You know, you can never build a church alone. Well, of course, some people can. There's no doubt about it. But most places of worship are built by communities. And so seeing these huge church buildings coming up, it means that people from that particular area have a super high sense of community. Religion is also an integral part of this society. Well, for instance, in Kiambu County, you can see that more than 95% of the residents here are Christians. And so it is not news to see a lot of churches here. In fact, Protestants take the majority at 36.8% of the total population, followed by Catholics at 24.6%, while 21.9% are evangelicals. And that's quite interesting numbers as far as religion is concerned. You can imagine in a country of about 2.6 million people, only 30,000 people has no religion. That's a minority, followed by Muslims who are only 21,311, while the traditional believers are also a minority, with only 3,000 members, while the Hindus are the least, with only 1,311 members. So far, I've not spotted a bank or any other serious financial institution. I don't know whether you have, but it's still early. Let's wait and see. I can spot another petrol station here, and this one is by Ruby's, another big one. It seems like this business is booming here. There's a gold rush to sell this kind of products. I don't know what is the catch, but the bottom line is they're providing a lot of job opportunities to youths, which is one of the things that we need in this country. I want to quickly check out the real estate segment, see the land prices and rent prices. And as usual, I had checked the prices before getting here. For instance, I saw a plot going for 3.5 million Kenya shillings. It was a 50 by 100, which is an eighth of an acre. It is right in town. I also saw another one. This one was 100 by 100, which is a quarter of an acre. And it was going for 7 million Kenya shillings. The villages surrounding the town also have huge chunks of land which are on sales. They are also a bit cheaper, especially when compared to the land in town. Remember, the land in town is commercial, while most of the lands in the villages are residential. For instance, I saw a 2-acre tea farm in Gatundu North near Kamwangi, which was listed at 3.5 million Kenya shillings per acre. I also saw another piece of land that was measuring 20 acres, and it was going for 30 million Kenya shillings. And you can do your quick maths and see how much an acre is costing around this place. And for my investors, before you come buying, it is also good to know that various factors affect the land prices. For instance, location, size, type of land. Like I just told you, commercial land are quite expensive than the residential one. Also, the development status of an area. You know, some areas are more developed than others. So the idea for giving you this land price is not to give you the actual value of land in this area, but to give you a slight clue of the market value. I'm sure you're also noticing that this is not a small town. And as such, there's a lot of people who rent properties here. And so I checked the prices, and this one in particular was quite interesting. For instance, I saw a 2-bedroom house that was up for rent. It had a private compound, a well-fitted kitchen, and ample parking. Can you guess the price? 10,000 Kenya shillings only. I saw another one, a 2-bedroom, going for 8,000 Kenya shillings, which is very fair, especially when compared to other towns in Kiambu County. I also saw one bedroom that was going for 5,000 Kenya shillings. Well, I think I might consider moving in here. It is an interesting place and quite affordable. And as you can see, it has a modern appeal. It feels like you're somewhere around Kiambu Town. Let's say those lower parts of Kiambu County, such as Gashie, Wangige. You know, they have this unique appeal of upcoming urban centers. Just take a look. Well, I want to turn around and go back to the town, but I'm just liking this place. The nice blend of urban center and village life is something else. You know, Kiambu is one of the counties with very interesting numbers as far as urbanization is concerned. For instance, did you know that 70.6% of the total population living in Kiambu County lives in urban centers, while only 29.4% lives in rural areas? And also remember, Kiambu has some of the biggest towns in the country. Towns like Ruiru, Thika, Kikuyu, Limuru, Kiambu Town, Juja, you can name them. They have a lot of potential and they carry a lot of people. And so finding a village town like Kamwangi, which has a unique blend of village and town's life, is just a blessing. So definitely the town got its name from a guy named Mwangi. It is not a complicated affair to guess. You know, the majority of the people living in and near Kamwangi are mostly Kikuyus. And Mwangi is one of the most common names in Kikuyu land. And so Kamwangi means the place of Mwangi. In fact, there's another place in Gatundu South that is called Wamwangi. And this one is a word probably in areas around Nembu, Mutwati. I think I've done a video about that. It is on this channel. You can go and check it later. It is covering that area of Wamwangi. And you can see Wamwangi and Kamwangi. There's a bit of similarities there. And I would like people who come from this area to just assist us on the comment section down below by telling us, is there any connection between the two areas? And who is this Mwangi guy and how famous was he? Just write to us and we'll appreciate. So if you're wondering where exactly is Kamwangi, the town is only 26.5 kilometers away from Thika town. And so you can see it is not so far away from other civilization. That is only a 43 minutes drive. From Kamwangi to Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya, it is only 66 kilometers, which is about 1 hour and 30 minutes drive. And so you can see the distance is manageable. I want to give you a few facts about Kiambu County, which is the host county as far as this town is concerned. And to start with, I want to give you a fun fact. Have you ever seen the county's flag? Here it is. Well, I don't know the deeper meaning of these colors. The green, I can see a white, blue, and red. Maybe if you work with the county or you're a patriot from this county, you can tell us the deeper meaning of these colors. But I can recognize a hand holding a whisker right in the middle. And my guess is that is Jomo Kenyatta's hand. That is the founding father of the Republic of Kenya. Remember, he came from this county. And maybe the officials decided to pay homage by placing his hand or his signature on the county's flag. Anyways, the county has a total population of 2,652,000 people. It is one of the highly populated counties in the country. with a population density of 1,045 people living in a square kilometer. It is equal to that of Kamwangi Town, meaning that the small town reflects the county as far as demographic is concerned. For the population change, Kiambu population is estimated to be growing at a rate of 2.4%, that is per year. And in terms of the gender distribution, this times around the males are the majority at 50.4%, while the females are only 49.6%. Well, that's interesting. I never expected that, to be honest. Well, in terms of age distribution, only 3.6% of the total population are aged 65 and above, meaning that out of the 2.6 million citizens living in Kiambu County, only 96,000 are old-timers, that is, those aged 65 and above. Anyways, let me leave it at that, but please continue watching the scenic video until the end. Also tell us, what do you think about the small town? Is it beautiful? Is it worth the status of a headquarters? And those friends who come from this area, kindly tell us, did you get the government offices as promised? So keep the conversation going. Tell us what we should know about your small town. Is it secure? Does it have social amenities? And what do you like most about your town? Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. Like the video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible, and smash the notification bell so that every time we post, you will be among the first few people to be notified. Also check our sister channel, that is Kikuyu Traveling Media. Go there, watch, like, and subscribe. Thank you.